Welcome everyone, this is Sean with MTG808 Jr. and today we are going to be recapping 3 Youth Standard Pauper top 4s. We haven't been making videos after each tournament, mostly because it's the same kids that are coming to the tournaments, usually playing the same decks. There's a little variation, but for the most part there's been a lot of overlap, so I haven't wanted to make a video for each one. But we just finished the third one today, or I guess tomorrow by the time this video is uploaded. Or not tomorrow, yesterday, by the time this video is uploaded. And so it seemed like a good time to just catch everyone up on what is happening in the youth scene here on Oahu. Before we get started, shameless plug time. For those of you who don't know, besides creating awesome Standard Pauper content here on YouTube, MTG808 Jr. also, we run youth Standard Pauper tournaments. Here on the island of Oahu, we run 2 Youth Standard Pauper tournaments a month, and then twice a year we run a scholarship tournament for the kids for Youth Standard Pauper. So if you want to support the project, check out our Patreon page, and of course, if you just want to support the channel, make sure that you're getting all the updates on Standard Pauper. Please hit that subscribe button, and that's a great way to support the channel. Hit that like button, hit that, go ahead and leave a comment, let us know what you think, just give us any feedback. Any and all feedback is appreciated. All right, so we're gonna jump in. Today we had Jeffrey take down the tournament. First place playing mono red aggro. Second place was Ty playing red green dinosaurs. JP came in third place with mono green aggro, and then Skylar came in fourth place playing red white aggro, Boros aggro. So Jeffrey's deck is a thing of beauty if you are a red mage. It is just a really clean burn deck. So he's playing all of the burn spells that he possibly can that go to the face. Or I guess all the most efficient burn spells that go to the face. And then just a really solid curve. Now, before any of you guys leave an angry comment on this video, please keep in mind that these rules that we play with for Youth Standard Pauper tournaments in real life are slightly different than the MTG Arena rules. We do allow downshifted rarities, meaning if it was ever printed as a common and it's legal in Standard, then it's legal in our tournaments. Lightning Strike fits that category. It has been a common many times, and even though it is currently an uncommon in Standard, Might of the Masses and Murder are the other 2 big ones that you're going to see. So before you leave a comment telling me that these decks don't work in Arena, I know, we've been using these different rules before Arena came out, and that's just the way that it has been. So, just so you know. But this mono red burn deck, if you do want to play it on Arena, you can remove Lightning Strike, maybe play a little bit of spot removal that doesn't go to the face, and then maybe a couple more creatures. But this thing is really a thing of beauty. You just want to use your removal early game to kill their creatures, allow your kind of cheap creatures to get in shots to the face, and then finish them off with a bunch of burn spells. It is a thing of beauty. Jeffrey said his sideboard could probably use a little bit of work. Being only one color, you don't have a ton of options, but you know, a little bit more burn in the form of Lava Axe, clear away blockers, Active Treason is good against big fat dudes, and then Dual Shot is good against the small decks. So congratulations to Jeffrey for, you know, just designing this really clean burn deck and taking it all the way today. In second place, we had Ty playing Gruul Dinosaurs. Ty just needed a deck for the tournament, asked me to borrow a deck. I told him all the decks that I had with me, and he said, oh, Dinosaurs sounds like fun. Now, I designed this deck a long time ago, mostly out of Ixalan cards and not too much else, and it's solid, but I don't think that this deck is maximized. But this deck is really just kind of like a mid-rangey aggro deck because you're trying to play 4 and 5 drops. But other than that, you're just trying to like curve out, play Tiliana's Knight on 2, Frilled Deathspitter on 3, Thrash of Raptors on 4, Stampeding Horncrest on 5, and then just like pressure them. Playing a 5 mana 4/4 Haster is good. Playing a 4 mana 5/3 Trample is good. So if you're just curving out against your opponent curving out, then this deck does fine. Ty did really struggle against Jeffrey's deck, played against it in round 3 of the tournament, played against it again in the finals, and he said the matchup just felt unwinnable because he had So much removal for, Lightning Strike and Skewer both kill Thrash of Raptors, and then all the other dudes just die to Shock or Direct Current. So he really struggled there. I did not have a sideboard ready for him. I don't build sideboards when I'm designing decks for the kids to use in club, just because it's so easy for decks to get out of order, and just upkeeping the decks is a lot simpler when it's straight 60. But Ty did say that he wished that there was this guy in the sideboard, which would be really good against the burn decks. Just really good at blocking. If they want to run a guy into it and then finish it off with a burn spell, you're going to get 2 Sapperling tokens. So this guy is a decent sideboard card. Colossal Dreadmaw might also be good against burn-based removal. And then he was saying that the deck could probably use some dual lands, because you want to have green early for Llanowar Elves and Commune with Dinosaurs, but then a lot of your curve is red, so you really want to have both colors. So he was saying maybe play a couple of dual lands. Goblin Motivator is also not the greatest, and Crash the Ramparts can sometimes be used on defense, but if you're not planning on using it on defense, then you probably just want to run amok in this slot. So nowhere near a maximized tuned list, but a fine starting point. And Ty proved that it is competitive, so congratulations to Ty for taking it to second place. In third place, we had JP's. Where are you? JP's Mono Green Aggro. There it is. JP has actually made the top 4 of the 3 last tournaments, and he's pretty much used this same list all 3 times. So congratulations to JP for just being a solid contender. This deck is very, very consistent, and it got a really big upgrade in Sauroform Hybrid. Just a 2-mana 2/2, comes down early, can be the target of pump spells, or, gives you a creature for Rabid Bite, can just start attacking or blocking. You can trade it if you need to, and then it gives you a lot of protection against Flood in the late game. These aggro decks kind of live and die by consistency, and Sauroform Hybrid has been a really nice addition to this archetype. But other than that, this archetype is just trying to play really awesome aggressive 2-drops. Guiltgrove Stalker is hard to block on 2, so is Deeproot Warrior. Jungleborn Pioneer and Yavimaya Shepherd go wide, which give you good game against the other aggro decks, and then Jade Guardian and Jungleborn Pioneer both make hexproof dudes, which is good against the aggro deck. So this is just a really, really well-rounded deck. I do think that if you try to play this deck on Arena, losing Might of the Masses is a pretty big hit, and I'm not sure what you would replace it with, because he's already playing Titanic Growth. You could just play Gift of Strength as an additional pump spell here, but the power level between Gift of Strength and Might of the Masses is notably steep. But, just a little bit of removal. Talons of Wirewood kind of serves as the short sword variant, but also giving trample, which goes well with the pump spells. So this deck, I think, just has all its bases covered. It can be aggressive early, it can go wide against other aggro decks, and then it has hexproof threats to have a fighting chance against control. So congratulations to JP for having a very solid string of tournaments. His sideboard is pretty solid. Sapperling Migration, good against the control decks when going wide is the answer. Crushing Canopy and Grazing Whiptail help protect him against flyers. Crawl Forgers, good against burn decks and other aggro decks. And then Wrecking Beast kind of is really good at coming in and breaking up stalemates when you're expecting the game to go long. So congratulations to JP. All right, coming in third place in our most recent tournament, I said we had... Oh, that was JP in third place. In fourth place, we had Skylar's Boros deck, which I believe is up here. And this deck, Skylar made top 4 of today's tournament, and then I think using this same list, pretty much, he won last week's tournament and defeated me in the end boss match. I was playing Blue-White Control. So this deck, again, he's playing Lightning Strike, so if you want to port it to Arena, you got to find a replacement for Lightning Strike. But this deck is just trying to play flyers with, pump with a little bit of mentor here on the 3 and 4 drop slot, and then short sword for the flyers to kind of carry weapons, and then just a bunch of burn to finish off the opponent, right? Against other aggro decks, you race them in the air and then finish them off with your high density of burn. Against the stuff like petitioners or control, you just have a really low curve. Short sword plays a good game against control. So yeah, this is just an all-around solid deck. He did lose to Jeffrey in the top 4, and I think that the burn spells were just really hard for Skylar to get a foothold in the game. One way to have better game against the control decks is Legion Conquistador is good, because if they're shooting their burn spells at your creatures, then playing a creature that draws you 3 cards when they're trying to take the role of the control deck is really good. And then also instead of Bishop Soldier, he could be playing the 1/3 lifelinker, which is a little bit harder for them to kill, especially once you put a short sword on it. So different tweaks that you can make to just adjust to the metagame here, but this is a really solid deck. Skylar's been putting up great results with it, so congratulations to him. So that was today's tournament. Last week's tournament, moving on, we had Skylar win first place, as I said. JP came in second place. They played a nail biter of a final match, and then Jansen came in third and Sydney came in fourth. So going over Jansen's deck right here, Jansen's been loving playing blue-black control, and of course Murder is in his deck because it is a downshifted rarity. But he's just kind of got an amalgam of a control deck here, right? A bunch of removal with Dead Weight, Moment of Craving, Murder, one Undercity's Embrace. There is one of the kids has been playing Aras, so Undercity's Embrace kind of gives him an out to Aras. And then he's got some counter spells with Essence Scatter, Negate, and Devious Cover-Up. And then Omen Speaker can hold the ground early, Muse Drake can hold the air while still drawing a card, and then Salvager of Secrets and Cold Water Snapper are kind of like his end game. Ill-Gotten Inheritance is good at just winning the game slowly, padding his life total against the aggressive decks while he's like trying to dig for spot removal to keep their board clear. And then Dead Revels and Salvager of Secrets is a loop. He can get back Salvager of Secrets plus Omen Speaker with Dead Revels. So he's kind of a little bit light on creatures to really rely on this, but he is only playing 2 Dead Revels, so I think that's fine. Secrets of the Golden City, great card draw spell. Dark Bargain is an okay one that just kind of supplements the secrets. Some Burglar Rats in his board, Death Touch creatures, Duress, Negate, Clear the Mind, notably here for the Petitioner deck. We haven't seen the kids play Petitioner decks since that first Ravnica Allegiance tournament that we ran. And I think that the Petitioner deck just gets old after a while. The play patterns, you're just kind of locked into the same play pattern every game, so it's kind of just boring. And then if people want to beat the Petitioner deck, then they can, so... congratulations to Jansen for, he came in top 4 of this tournament, and then the tournament before that, he actually came in first place, so congratulations to him. All right, Sydney came in 4th, right here, Sydney's White Weenie. Sydney's been playing mono white aggro for a long time, so she's got 14 1-drops, a bunch of 2-drops favoring the flyers over the lifelinkers, and then Blade Instructor and Parhelion Patrol at the top of her curve to kind of protect against Mono Flood. She's only playing 19 lands, and then Marauder's Axe as her equipment of choice. When your plan is to just race them in the air instead of like relying on blocks to win in combat, then Marauder's Axe is better than Short Sword because you don't care about the extra toughness. You just want to like get the damage in as much as possible. Snubhorn Sentry does a good job of holding the ground for the flyers, so does Hunted Witness. And then she is playing the 4, 8, 12, 16, 19 flyers in the deck. So congratulations to Sydney. Of course, Legion Conquistador and Call of the Cavalry are kind of like her anti-control package. Squire's Devotion is good against the aggro mirrors, and then just kind of your usual sideboard cards that you see. So that was the top, rounded out the top 4 of the second tournament that we ran. And then the earliest, oh no, what am I doing? The earliest tournament that we ran here, we have Jansen winning first with blue-black control. This is him losing the end boss match against the Petitioner deck. JP came in second place with the mono-green aggro, as we mentioned. Edward here came in third, playing Bant Aras, which we'll go over in a second. And then Sydney came in fourth, playing that white aggro deck that we just went over. So, where is Bant Aras? Down here. Ah, there it is. Okay. So this deck is a bit of a monster. He is playing 8 creatures that have hexproof or make hexproof creatures in Jungleborn Pioneer and Jade Guardian. And then his the last creature that he's playing is Sumala Woodshaper, which goes and gets auras or creatures. And then the rest of his deck is just auras and ways to smooth out his draws. Shimmer of Possibility kind of help protect him against not having a creature to play. But then once he gets a hexproof creature into play, he just wants to suit it up, make it huge with Oaken Form, One with the Wind, Squire's Devotion, and Talons of Wirewood. And yeah, that's kind of his game plan. It is kind of vulnerable. Like, I think all of the top decks that we've been seeing the kids play have a decent game plan against this, whether it's just going under. Right, they only have a little bit of removal with Summary Judgment, and they're not really good at blocking until like turn 5 or 6. So if you can just go under this deck, this deck kind of struggles to play catch up. But if this deck is able to like have its good curve and then get a lifelinking hexproof dude into play, then you know, you're gonna have a hard time beating it. So you let them assemble Voltron, and you know, they get to do some nasty things. If you've been following the channel at all, you know that I don't like these Aura decks. You know, being able to play the hexproof creatures to kind of ensure that your auras are going to be safe means that the deck is kind of slow and clunky, because you can't start assembling Voltron until turn 4 at the earliest, right? He's not even playing Llanowar Elves to help speed that up. And because he's playing 3 colors, he's got to play a bunch of tap lands, which just slows the deck down. So I don't like this deck because it's terribly inconsistent, and even when everything does go right, the rest of the deck still have a good game plan against you. Control can just make sure that they have their Essence Scatters and cancels for your 8 hexproof dudes, and then the rest of your deck kind of does nothing. Petitioners just runs this over. So I'm not the biggest fan of this archetype, but it is really satisfying and cool when it does do its thing, and Edward has been playing it and liking it for the last couple tournaments. One thing of note in his sideboard, I really like Centaur Peacemaker in this sideboard. Come on, highlight. So Centaur Peacemaker here. What? All right, I'm just gonna pull it up here. Centaur Peacemaker, 3 mana, 3/3. Both players gain 4 life. So against the aggro decks, right, he does have a fair amount of inevitability once he starts assembling Voltron. And Centaur Peacemaker is just really good at slowing the game down, right? A 3 mana, 3/3 blocker is great, gaining both players 4 life. He doesn't really care about his opponent's life total. So I really like this inclusion in the board. And yeah, so those are the decks that have made top 4 of the most recent tournaments. We have seen a lot of overlap in them, right? Jansen top 8 of multiples, Skylar did, JP did, Sydney did. So, of note, all of them are in like 4th or 5th grade from August Arians Elementary School. Mike Ulip has been doing a great job with his club there, and these kids are just super into the game. They love the game. They keep wanting to play and compete. None of them have made the top 8 of the scholarship tournaments yet, but our May scholarship tournament is coming up, and these kids are ready, right? They started playing just under a year ago, and now they're winning tournaments and consistently making top 4, and really proud of them. They're doing a great job. So thanks for stopping by. Oh, bonus deck here at the end. Where is it? So my end boss deck that I used today is this deck, except that instead of Rage Fires, I use Lightning Strikes, and I think I like this control deck. Of all the I like blue white was just like falling behind too much. I really think that having the extra removal with the extra quality removal of Sheevan Fire and Hypothesizzle to just make sure that you can kill your opponent's creatures even when they try to like go wide with a bunch of 1-drops, I think is really important for the control deck. So this is my control deck of choice. I will include the link to this and all the decks in the description of the video. Check out the description. But bonus, I have made a video on this deck before, and I went back to it for the end boss matches, and I really like it. Oh, I think the one change, I cut a devious cover up and I added a turtle. Boom. Oh, this guy's a crab turtle crocodile. Interesting. Okay. So thanks for stopping by. Once again, hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on all your standard Pauper content, and I will catch you next time. Peace.